Okay, so when I say these guys, we're talking with, we've got a whole selection here. We've got Light Council that has normally comes in, and today I was talking to a dear friend of mine, and I was trying to explain that I was just literally doing my shopping as you do, walking down the high street, and then I picked up on something, and all I heard was the Galactic Federation. I was like, oh my God, where did I pick that up from? Actually, I think I was getting on the bus when that happened. And then when I was asking my guides that I communicate with, my guides were saying it's a bit like when you're driving your vehicle on the freeway or the motorway, that you're listening to a frequency, a channel, a bandwidth, a radio station, whatever it is. And as you're listening to that radio station, what happens is sometimes as you're driving on the freeway or the motorway, you can sometimes pick up on, say for instance, a new radio station or whatever it is, or whatever, or you're listening to a song and then the song happens, and you know, you hear something else from another channel, and that's exactly what's going on for me right now. There's a shifting of different energies coming in and out. Okay, thank you. And what they just said is because of my energy of where I'm at myself, I'm making changes to me, and as I make changes to myself, they just said also like yourselves, when you make your own individual changes, then you pick up on different information. And so I was getting on the bus literally, and I heard Galactic Federation. I sounded something like something out of Star Wars or Star Trek or something. So I was like, oh gosh, what else is coming in? So as I'm channeling to you today, bear with me because there's new individuals popping in, beings, energetic, energy wise. So yeah, it's very different tonight. I can feel the energy. Okay, so I'm just going to go for it. Lovely to see you all. I'm glad you're all here now. It's lovely to see you all. Okay, thank you. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is a tight squeeze, a tight fit sometimes to fit inside, and there are many here, energetically speaking, as you might see it as energy, yes. But there are many of us that try to squeeze in to some degree to help her with the information. We have asked her if we may step forward, and she has allowed us to step forward. But there are many here that are intrigued and interested with many of you at this particular time. And we are just here to help you on your planet. We wish you no ill health, no harm. We are here to support you. That is all our intention is. Many of you have asked over many years, and we have stepped forward. Many of your prayers that have reached out to ask for assistance, we have received, and we are here to assist you on many, many levels of yourself. We're always intrigued, that Anne's intrigued or inquisitive about what information she receives and when she receives it. Some of us find it quite hilarious, actually. Yes, we have a sense of humor. We try. This is the only way that we find that humans will accept us, if we have a sense of humor. And it is dry at times, we understand. So we apologize. We work with the tools that we have. This is quite funny, we feel. So let us begin. We are aware that there are some topics we wish to cover, if that is okay with yourselves. We're assuming that is okay. Yes, we can feel the energy. Good. Okay, let us help you. Remember, some of the terminology and language is not the best, and we would not necessarily use this language, but we are working with our tool. We do not mean it disrespectful to Anne, and many of us are laughing. She understands. So let us begin. Many of you are feeling there is a difference on your planet right now, because we can feel it, and we can feel that you are feeling there is a difference on your planet. And very much like the atmospheric changes to your planet, the cycles, your seasons that you are all encountering, this might be through the light, this might be through the weather, in the sense of the heat, the warmth, the chill, whatever it is that you're feeling. But your physical form is going through many, many changes on your planet. We shall explain. There are many layers to this, not just the energy of the weather forecast as such, in which some of it's being controlled to some degree. We understand and we can see this. But we are also aware that the energy of your physical forms are changing. There has been a build-up of many toxics in your body to some degree. We're always fascinated with the fact that you were created with a physical form, that the energy of your organs really could heal themselves. But we are aware of the intervention that you use for your medications. We know we are not saying to stop medications. Please do not take that this way. But we are surprised and amazed the layers and the levels that you go to place chemicals in your physical form when your body has been created in the sense that it can heal itself, to destroy your cells so that you then try to reset your body so that it heals again. Feels a little bit of a nonsense to ourselves, but we are not human. Thank goodness. That is a joke. We're aware of many of your energies here that are listening to this information, so we will do our best, keep coming back on track. But yes, we do wander off sometimes because there is so much information to help you with. Now, there are many layers of yourself, as we said before. Many of you will be feeling the fact of the energy shifting and changing. Wherever you are on your planet, the energy shifts and changes. Now, this can be due to the weather, to be the cycle, the season. It could be many factors. It could also be through the wars that you encounter on your planet. Again, we do not understand why would you kill each other when it's hard enough you trying to survive on your planet. It is about cooperation and working together. It's not about fighting against each other and the greed that has been created on your planet. We understand, we have watched, we are aware, and that is why we are stepping forward more and more. And many of you beware that the energy is shifting because there are many star seeds that will come into your planet. Now imagine like the dandelion flower that you blow, some wishes, very similar. These are like the star children that are entering onto your planet. It's not just now, they have been here for many years, many, many, many years, but there are more of them because the frequency is here to help to make the changes. Now, the star seeds will be finding much difficulty on your planet because the energy of themselves and the energy of your planet does not match up. Not at the moment, no. There are many changes. Now, again, as we said, there are many layers to this, and there are energy shifts. So if you think of each of you are the pebble that is in the pond and that you create a ripple effect, it's contagious in a sense of your mind and where your mind is at. Now, we are aware that we heard a conversation through Anne today. Yes, we're always with her. Not listening to every part of her conversations, of course. There are those human ones where we just laugh and step back. She is human after all. But we're aware the conversations regarding friendships. This is another one to say that you have grown and changed and shifted. And of course, many of you know this, but this is really important for you to be aware of. When you communicate with those friends and family members, you are stepping into their energy field, you are engaging with them. There is this engagement of energy that flows freely. Remember, you are porous. There are many pores on your skin. Have a look. You can see for yourself. So if we think of energy that is going on inside your body, so for instance, with your emotions, your feelings and your thoughts creates this internal energy, this combustion engine that you have going on in your body, your heart, your lungs, and all the other organs that you have. They also will create energy flow that moves in and out of your body. And so, however you are feeling, so if you're engaging with individuals that may not see the world how you see it, this is not that you should step back entirely, because in a way, it's observing how far that you have come and where they are on themselves and in their journey. But what we suggest is that you choose. That's where your free will comes in. You choose who you wish to engage, who you wish to have conversations with, who you wish to be around. Just like nature, it's the same thing. You pick up a frequency and a vibration. Many of you on different parts of the world and the planet right now will feel that you're going into spring or you're moving into autumn, whatever the season, and some of you are just in between. Maybe it's easier for those that are just in between, right across your planet. But as you are going in and out of the changes, you are like the animal, you're feeling it. Many of you will notice in those parts of the world, either the animal is now starting to make its home or it's starting to think about hibernation soon, and leaves are changing colors and flowers. Wherever you are on your planet at any particular time, there are changes. Your nature is around you so that it can show you the changes that is occurring in your environment. And of course, this is going to affect you as the human. You engage, you interact with your energy around you, your home life, your family life, your friendship, and the environment you live in. And it's very important to look at this because you are human beings. You are engaging with the environment around you. If you are not happy, and this is something we do not understand, if you are not happy, why do you not move? Why do you not move on? Why don't you change that job, that relationship, that home environment? And yes, we can already hear many of you saying, oh, money or whatever it is that you have a tie to. And we understand. And many of you have put money on such a high frequency that you think this is the be all and end all and it will solve all your issues. There are many of you out there that are extremely wealthy and you still live in your head, and the prison was within your mindset. So it's not necessarily is what you think you need. When you all came to planet Earth originally, and you have to sit and engage it as it is, like your school, because it really is. You have the opportunity where you can grow. You have the opportunity to engage, work with your senses. So you have the interaction with others. So you learn your lessons, not lessons as you have been told, as in you're doing this wrong or you will be punished. No, it's not this way at all. It is so that you can engage with your physical form so you feel those emotions and feelings. There are many of us that watch over, and some who are quite intrigued in the sense of the feelings and emotions that you do experience. We find it fascinating. But then there is a lot that then goes on in the head, the information that's stored and the interaction that you all have with each other. Now, if we are to say to you that you are all multidimensional energy beings, some of you would think we're talking about space age or something. No, multidimensional because of the interactions you have with individuals. Some the information that you will have or interaction that you'll have with a family member or a work colleague is going to be different. So you're multidimensional. You behave in a different way. And even look at your dreams. We've mentioned this recently. In and out of your dreams, exploring different worlds. A conversation about manifestation came up today about dream work, yes. And we will explain more. When you're working within your dream work, you're not working with your mind necessarily of holding you back. There are no limitations within your dream state. It makes it easier then to manifest because you're not holding yourself back thinking you cannot do something. You go to it, you do it. From either the dream work, as in the flying or being the superhero or whatever it is, whatever. We hear many of your dreams here. We feel it. So dream work, yes, is important. It is important to let go of the mindset of the worry. It is important just to allow yourself to engage within the dream. Lucid dreaming, where you can work within the dream, move it about, have a look from different directions and different versions of yourself. See, this is the thing with your dreams. There are many versions of yourself that are playing out within your dream. And you allow yourself to do this. Now, there is also something we wish to mention. Many of you feel that when you hear the terminology of higher self, you believe it's above yourself. What if we was to say it's oneself, to see it as oneself? Internally, maybe as the scout, it looks externally as well. But it is internally, is oneself. Higher self, we tend to separate ourselves and feel it's godly in the sense of, well, we will say godly because this is what makes sense to humans, but you would see that it's separate from yourself. It is not to be separate from yourself, it is to be part of yourself. We wish you to think about this for one moment. We was trying to explain to Anne earlier
while we were channeling how we could explain this. And she felt that maybe people wouldn't understand. So we will do our best. Now, imagine when you are doing the work on yourself, and what we mean by this is exploring how you are interacting with others. You know, then when, say, for instance, there's some irritation with friends or irritation in a situation, that means there's growth, there's change internally within you and within your mindset. How you may have seen something before, it's changed. It's simple. One, at some point, you may have liked dark chocolate and then you move over to milk chocolate. I know that's very simplistic, but we're just using that as an example. You may choose that because for some reason you decided that's better for you, or it's not better for you, or vice versa, whatever. It's your awareness that there is something different, that you wish to make some changes. You could even use the fact of people who eat meat then don't eat meat, and people who eat vegan and people who are vegetarian. It's the same thing. It's when you have a little bit of knowledge in a certain area that you start making those changes. It's the same as if you were in a toxic relationship, you come out of the toxic relationship, you look at the toxic relationship, and then you realize, because you use your mind, which is good to some degree because it has stored some information. So use your mind to look at the actual relationship and to see what happened and how you were. But again, look at it. You are a multidimensional being. There may be those parts of you that need healing that go all the way back to your early childhood. You hold on to ancestral pain and healing. There are many of you that are still carrying ancestral links from family members that may still be held within your physical form, and you may be really unaware of what that is. And even past lives, again, multi-dimensional being moving along different parallel lives of yourself. They're all occurring at one time now on this planet because each and individually that you are now looking at this. So many of you who are, as we say, coming online, which just means from the empathic, now intuitive, now maybe psychic, maybe mediumship, whatever that is. Maybe you're becoming more aware there is more than what you have been told or what you have seen before. There are many changes. So that is going to affect everyone on your planet. And there is the changes that's happening. It is like when you're moving out of winter into spring, you can feel there is some sort of change, but not sure if you can physically see it until the blossoms come. And then you start seeing your bumblebees and you start seeing your birds flying around making nests. They can feel it. Many of you humans can feel it too. When there is a shift happening internally within you, your mind might move all over the place, trying to work out what's going on. Why did it work out this way? What's happening? And there might be some uncomfortability. And for that change, you will see those individuals that no longer think and feel the same way of you. And then they move out of your friendship groups. You change. This is normal. This is good. This is okay. This is progression of the soul. After all, the soul's here to have a physical experience. When the physical vessel is starting to decay, which you will call aging, then moves out the soul from the decayed physical vessel, which means you class this as death. It is only the awareness that you feel the individual is no longer there. But what happens to that personality? It is very much like, yes, we are going to use this terminology, and said, don't use this terminology, and we shall. It's a bit like the bath bomb that you place into your bath. It fizzles away, makes a lovely color in your bath. You feel it. Doesn't mean it's gone. It's just taken a different shape and form. Yes, we are happy we have used that example. It just takes a different shape and form in the bath water, but it's still with you. You're still absorbing. And it's the same as when your loved ones that you become very attached to, we understand that, but they move out of the bath bomb sense, as in they're not the physical form anymore, and they move on and they're just around you still, in and out of the bath water as such. We hope we haven't distracted you too much and stopped going down the avenue of the bath water. But it's very similar as in the higher self. You think you're separated from yourself. When you do this, you find it hard to reach for that assistance, to that awareness of yourself. We wish for it not to be seen as our higher self, because people feel higher self would know better. We'd say oneself, oneself. And Anna's often used the word in as in soul consciousness, and this is correct. It's the soul consciousness, it's the oneself. So it has to be internally within you, of course it does, and it has to be around you. It is oneself. And again, we're using the analogy of the water. So imagine. You can imagine either you're in the bath or you can imagine you're in the sea, whatever it is that you wish to imagine. But if you place your ears under the water in the bath, you're still there. You just hear things slightly different. And that's the same with your soul. When you move in and out of different dimensions, you will pick up on different frequencies. You will hear different things. You may hear birdsong very differently. You may hear the words of others around you in a different way because your mind has analyzed it in a different way. Also, your soul has become aware that it's not a job for your soul to sit there and just like the TV controller, the remote controller, as in sitting back and allowing everything to unravel in front of you. You are not the spectator. You have to actually be involved in the TV program you're watching. This is why you're here. It is to engage. It is to experience as much as you can experience in this lifetime that you have right now on planet Earth as whoever you are at this particular time. You're not going to come back as the exact person. You will come back differently the next time and the next time and the next time and the next time and the next time. We know we have observed many of you. So how about less of the higher self as it's raised above you and thinking that you are no good and you cannot connect because you haven't stopped smoking, you haven't stopped drinking alcohol, you haven't stopped eating meat, you separate yourself. How about you see it as oneself? And it's just a different version maybe of yourself. And maybe by the work that you're doing on yourself, that you become aware that you can bring oneself closer and you can then engage and have the conversations. You'll notice there'll be a difference. The difference is it's not critical. The difference is you may be unaware that suddenly you have the answer for something because you're, as you would call it, your higher self, or shall we say oneself, is nudging you and telling you the intuition. It works well with you. It's all one. It's all part of the whole process. But the work that you do on yourself and you start to understand yourself better, it moves you out of how and who you used to be. You change, and the energy within you changes. And just like the frequency within you, you no longer stay in the dense energy of feeling down in yourself and criticizing yourself. We know many of you do. When you accept yourself, the energy level's very different. You engage in life in a very different way. You raise your frequency. You feel happier in yourself. We want more laughter, if anything. We want you to enjoy life. You make life such a struggle. When you came here originally on your planet, it was here as young children. It was about enjoying life to the full. And then you became the adults or even the teenagers who are very heavy in the dense energy levels. But you are here to learn. And the lessons can be hard at times, we know. But at the moment, there's this intermingleness with each other's energies, and many of you are going to feel that uncomfortability. Discombobulated, yes, that's the word we enjoy most, discombobulated. So if you're feeling discombobulated, sit with yourself. That is what meditation's for. And yes, we can already hear people going, oh, no, not meditation. I find it very hard. And that's exactly why we're saying meditation, because you disengage then from the brain and finding all the worries and all the problems with your world. You sit with your breath and your body, and breath is good. Breath anchors you back to your physical form because you have to breathe. It's important to keep you alive. Yes, we have a sense of humor. We are growing with our humor. We're engaging more and more and understanding this sense of humor to some degree. But there is a lot of changes on your planet. There has to be. The structuralization is changing on your planet. It has to change. Before, it was too structured, too logical minded, too practical to some degree. And some people use that against individuals. It is changing. Is moving out of that heavy masculine energy and now the feminine divine energy is coming in. No, Some of you will hear this and go, oh no, females are taking over. That is not what we mean. The feminine energy is to feel into the environment. You cannot do that right now. The energy is shifted on your planet. This energy that will come in the end, there will be that balance. We can see this happening. It has to come in. Those who are going to step forward need to step forward. There is much information in the star seeds that have arrived on your planet. There are many being born this year in particular. They will help also to change the energy. Those will be the individuals that energetically are very connected and emotionally will feel every single feeling there is on your planet. There has to be a change. It's important now for your planet to keep existing as it is to some degree, but there will be changes. This is the time to stand up. This is the time for your voices to be heard. It is not to be fearful. It is to know there needs to be a change. It is just like the cycle. There are many cycles on your planets. If many of you are feeling a bit disheveled and discombobulated, it is to start your own practice in the sense of connecting, meditation, connecting to nature. It is to find your space. This will help you. And also, those who are here on this part of the hemisphere, it is the spring cleaning of the mind. Have a look, see what needs to be chucked out. There are many to assist you on this journey. We are just parts of that process, but we hear your voices. We hear you in your prayers. We receive the information. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I felt that I was holding on to a kite then in a storm. Oh gosh. Okay. So if any of you had any observations or questions, I'm here. They are also still here. So many changes coming. I can see it and feel it on the planet. There seems to be a shift going on now, almost like the globe is. Yeah, it feels almost like the axis of the Earth seems to be shifting slightly. And I feel that also is affecting us environmentally. Have I got any scientific proof? No. But I'm only sharing what they're showing me right now. It just feels as if there's been a shift. So it feels as if almost what they're showing me is like something's happened within, it sounds very strange, within the galaxy. It feels like something like a thermal wave or a thermal shift has happened. So it's like then we're receiving this. And it is very much like the radio station tuning in the dials, the knobs, frequency higher, lower, as in radio waves or sound waves. And I feel that's what we're receiving. We're having, I'd say, the backlash of that's coming forward, but not to be feared. It's just a change. It's just a shift to move us like a little nudge, like a bumper car, but not maybe that such a push. Okay, we have a few questions and I'm going to answer them now. You're always here listening. Yes, we can hear you. It's interesting how the humans, people, shall we say, we are aware somebody didn't like us saying humans at some point as it separates us from yourselves. It's non-judgmental, but we shall say people, how the relationships that you create through your soul pods or through families, there is a lot of emotional baggage within families, shall we say. And yes, to some degree, yes, it's the opportunity to grow, to learn, to find yourself within that soul pod, that family grouping and such. It's interesting. What do animals do? Do they stay in the same families? No, many of them, they get to a certain stage and they fly off or they move off in a different direction. not often do they stay in the same area in the pack or in the herd. They move on. It's interesting that the individual people decide, people still doesn't sound correct to us, but the individual people feel that they have to stay within the family soul pod because this is whatever reason tied to them emotions, and we understand the emotions of the human. That sounds better, thank you. It feels better to have the relationship because we feel that, you know, you have to engage. But then look, we look at your families. we we look at the growth of your families and we look at the teenagers. They're a prime example. They become horrid to some degree. Some do, not always. We don't want to overgeneralize, but there are some teenagers that become horrid. And parents almost can't wait for them to go or cannot wait for them to move on. There are many. We understand that, we can see that, and there are not always for everyone. But then you still hold on to these individuals, and this fascinates us. It fascinates us that as the individual does not want to move on to different areas. I think that is because that we are not emotionally connected to each other in that shape or form. Our suggestion is to look at what it is that you need. You operate in a different way compared to your family and friends. Do you then stay and then judge yourself? Do you then stay and feel emotionally that you're being blackmailed emotionally from family members? Do you then stay with individuals because you think it's the right thing to do? We suggest this is not correct to some degree. This is not just addressed to the individual who's asked this question, but for many others as well. We suggest it's the uncomfortability within yourself that you need to look at the uncomfortability. Is there any need to be continuously feeling this uncomfortability within yourself? We suggest not. Sometimes when we feel that this uncomfortability is almost keeping us stuck in one place, in one position, it's almost feeling as if that maybe we shouldn't move on, we shouldn't grow. That is internally within your own self. So we suggest that when this is, and we may sound harsh, we do apologize because we are not human. We've never been human, and we are most grateful for that fact that we've never had those emotional feelings like this before because it's quite messy. We see this, it's quite dense, the energy, because the brain. Yes, it was such a good idea at the beginning of placing the brain and the mindset and how individuals would think. But we can see the complications of now the brain and how it operates. But yes, and we know that you need to have the brain. And again, this is not to the individual, but to many humans. You have to have the brain and the mind and how it thinks because you have to analyze it. Yes, we understand. It helps the soul to move on. We understand. But it gets so complicated at times, too complicated at times. But we suggest that when there is this heartache, and we can feel it with you individually, and there are others that will hear this message later on because we do move in and out of the dimensional time and space. So we're already aware that there are other people who will listen to this in the future. So we're already picking up on their emotions, and that's how it works. But we will suggest that you have to look at yourself. Why is it that you need to be feeling this way? Is it not better for you to let go and surrender? You are a true empath. You feel the emotions and hold on to it into your heart. There are many of you that continue that journey, and then even to the dying day, can still continue to be in that depths of the dense energy. We suggest, why not try to change? Why not try to shift out of that energy field? You cannot always make everyone happy with the way that you are living your life or how you wish to move on. Remember, this is your soul journey, not their soul journey as such. And yes, we are aware individual souls coming together, you're interacting, you're learning your lessons. What if it's your lesson this time that you are not going to stay around to be treated in a certain way? What is it your lesson this way is actually by having those relationships showing you that, yes, you must stand up for yourself. Because, yes, we do feel that you probably had this on repeat from previous lifetimes too. And in this lifetime, it's for your voice to be heard. It's not for you to be hiding away. And we understand individually that your story, we do understand we're feeling into this. But how can the individual human liberate themselves if they are continuously repeating the same problem, the same issue over and over again? And we do not mean this individually just to one person. We mean this generally to anyone that hears this. Why continuously put yourself into a position where we would say like the Tom and Jerry cartoon characters bashing yourself over the head with the frying pan constantly. Well, why would you just not move your head out of the way and go somewhere else? But the human, the part of the heart and the head gets confused at some point. So we suggest if you're having a difficult time with your family members, they may not understand you or you're feeling into them. And maybe some of you want to help the family members by helping yourself first, makes them understand you better as well. And maybe your example of how helping yourself will be the example of them learning to understand themselves better. And then that will be their lesson too. That's why you're placed in soul pods, so that it's continuous, contagious as the ripple effect around those around you. And those who do not take kind to this are not happy with their family members, how they're feeling, and feel that it's their responsibility to help them. If you wish to stay in this mode, that is up to you entirely. This is your free will. This is where free will comes into. Yes. Thank you. There are moments we are intrigued. The question about star seeds and how humans can assist them. The person that asked this is very much the star seed themselves. And we are feeling this is very humble in a sense of we are joining the heart. We are feeding into your energy field. So welcome to planet Earth. It's not so easy, is it? There are many of you star seeds on the planet at this moment. And how can you assist them? It is so that you're aware, that you identify with them, and so that you give them the helping hand. Many will feel as if that they are quite intoxicated with the planet. They will feel disheveled. The energy will shift inside them. There is much nervousness in many of those on the planet who are the star seeds. Is to recognize as the parent of a star seed that any anxiety is that they are picking up and feeling into the energy. They will be the super sensitive children. There will be many of the children that you name and label as the autistic children or the children with Asperger's. You have given labels like every condition you have on your planet, labeled it on a denser layer as if there is an issue or a problem with those individuals. They are just different from yourselves. There are many signs that they are there on your planet right now. They have been on your planet many times. They shut themselves down to some degree because it's the only way they can cope with the planet of the energy. It is easier for them to shut their energy down of the senses. They feel overwhelmed and overloaded. They are super sensitive to the sounds around them. Many of you are going to become more aware of this, as many of your bodies will find it most difficult to continue on your planet. There are many chemicals that have been exploited into your food chain. There are many cancers that should not be there. By shutting the body down and asking the body to reset is not useful. If your body was not engaging with all the chemicals, the pesticides, your body would be able to filter out the many illnesses and diseases. There are many of your humans on the planet that know exactly what they are doing and their intention. The star seeds will need your helping hand. They will need you to be by their sides to assist them. It would be so that there are those workplaces or other environments that are not so noisy, that the lights, sounds to accommodate them. It is not to label them as if there is something wrong with these individuals. They function in a different way. They are hypersensitive. And those who are not labeled as Aspergic or autistic or anything else, you obviously see the star seeds that are very sensitive, the empathics. There is a different frequency within the heart. We do not mean that you test this on a heart machine. We mean they feel into the energy very differently. There are many who hear this information now. They are aware that they will need your assistance. The many light workers on your planets, the many healers, those who are aware of our voice and hear us. It is for you to allow them to have that space to be who they wish to become and who they are. It is not for the judgment of saying they are different. They will keep stepping forward the star seeds on your planet. There are many more to come. It is the shift in the energy on your planet. Many will feel anxious. It is to provide the spaces for these individuals to be themselves out of no judgment. How else can your planet change and survive if you do not accept that there are gifts that are being sent to your planet is to receive? Open your heart to individuals that step forward out of non-judgment. Question: how do you know if it's a dream that you've dreamed, or is it more than just a dream? Interesting. Well, we are saying the veil between the layers at this moment, so like the membrane between the dimensions, shall we say, in the sense that it's become thinner. So let's have a look. How can we explain this? Oh, yes, a bit like the bath we was explaining, as in our ears under the water, how we're in the bath, but we're still, our physical selves, half out, half in. That's not explained it. Let's have a look more. So the different dimensions within the dreams is the different dimensions of yourself. So you change within your dreams. The difference that you can tell if it's a dream or if you're actually astral traveling, you look at the dream when you wake up. If it disappears, then it is a dream. It is literally that your psychological brain, your mind is shifting through information, like the filing system, the filing cabinet. You move in and out and you address whatever it is that you need to address. Now, if it is more than a dream and your loved ones pop in, it's because the thin veil is very open. Is very much like a loved one when they pass through, as you would say, is that they are just in the other room and you're shouting loud, do they want a cup of tea? And they shout back and say, yes, please, they do. It's very similar to this. But within a dream, your mind switches off from over-analyzing when you're dreaming. So it makes it easier for your loved one to pop in to answer your questions. Your loved one pops in to address anything that is needing some assistance. Now, we have some advice. Before you go to sleep, we would say, write down the question that you may need looking at. You may have done this, particular person, you may not have, but we would say this for everyone. You write down the question that you have. You do not need to point it to a guide or a loved one or your oneself, higher self. We would just say, write down the question, go to sleep, allow it to unfold. As many of you are aware, you might say your higher self or oneself or soul consciousness would be easier for the answer to come forward, because then you are non-judgy. You are allowing whatever the information to come forward. You may also then interact with the loved ones because they are aware they do not need their physical form to enter into your life. You may see the images of, like a picture, a photograph. When you pick up a photograph and you look at the images within it, you may remember different things that have happened at that particular time, but you're not in the photograph now, and nor is the other individual, but you have that imagery of them and you're feeling back to the emotions. Yes, your mind must have stored it somewhere. Yes, okay. But within the dream, it's very similar. Ask the question, write it down, and see what happens next. If you remember the dream when you wake up and it's still with you for several hours, this is more than a dream. You're just dimensionally moved in and out. So you have allowed your soul to move in and out. You're a multi-dimensional being. You don't have to participate and sleeping in your physical form in your bed. This is a great opportunity for your soul to travel. Do the lucid dreaming. Ask for a solution. Work within your dream. Ask to go on the travels. This is very good for manifestation. Very good indeed. Because with you imagine what you want to do, how you wish your life to get to where it needs to get to. Don't need to worry about the A, B's and C's. It's like literally, what do you want? And go into your dream with this. Anne does this many times and she's quite successful. We know, we watch. So if she wants something, she'll go to bed and she'll ask for it. She'll step into the energy of how she feels she'll feel like and leaves the rest to us. Because the energy of herself in her dream is matching up with the reality. So it's very much about you all have created your reality where you are right now. You're in the hologramic view. The life that you're living is from your mind, your brain, your heart center of how you think that you should be and who you think you are. We watched when you had the workshop this weekend, the blueprint, the Akashic records. Many of you looked in the mirrors and saw yourself. That was a good game. It's how you see yourself, how you are showing up in the world, from the fashion, from the clothes that you wear, and how you see yourself. That's how you see yourself, and how you see yourself or how you think of yourself is showing up in your world. You can shift this. You can shift this by, yes, we know, doing the work on yourself and removing some psychological, emotional triggers that many of you are holding from things that have happened to you, going all the way back to when you were 5 years old or 2 years old or 3 years old. Many of you are holding on very tightly to this wound. But through your dream work, working lucidly, you can help that individual to grow, to find their superhero in themselves. So remember, you are all superheroes to yourself. Just remind your younger version what you can do. So yes, loved ones may not have the physical body to come into your dreaming as such. They're working with the image of the photograph or the image of the remembrance of who they were. Yes. But dreams are dreams that you wake up and you forget. Those dreams that you may feel exhausted. Well, there are many light workers we can feel that will be watching this. And in the audience, as light workers, you're going off and helping everyone on the planet. You need to help their own body as well. You need to sleep. So you try to anchor yourself physically to your bed, to where you sleep, and say, nope, I'm not working. Thank you very much. My body needs to get on with what it needs to get on with. If you want to, that is. We feel that we may have answered that, but we know we have said this before. We hope this is of some use to you. Whew, thank you. Interesting question. Yes, the healers, the energy workers, those who are finding their gifts, not finding as if they're lost under a bush, but yes, we understand that the gifts are stepping forward, and then you're becoming more aware that you are the superhero to some degree, that you can assist others in your journey. You have free will like everyone else. So those energy workers, you'll start to begin what it is that you like to do. You all have different types of gifts. It's not so much about asking your guides to help you, to assist or to understand. This is when the work comes in about, you would say the higher self, we would say the oneself, the soul consciousness. You will fluctuate from gifts. You will try out different mechanisms. It may be the tarot, it might be the healing, it might be the mediumship, it might be the psychic ability, whatever it is. But you'll go through different layers of yourself, because there's many layers of yourself that can do many work, because you've been here many times before. So those who are the light workers, the energy healers, have been here many times before. You are just picking up old gifts that you've had before. It's like sorting through the cupboard when you find different individual things. A shoe here, a shoe there, a jumper you thought you had. This is what you are doing in this lifetime. You are remembering the gifts that you have. But you are different. You are changing because of many lifetimes that you have lived. But also, this is not just about you choosing about the particular gift. This is also about yourself. To do the work on yourself, your environment, the way you live your life, not just you individually, we mean individuals, the way that you live your life as energy workers, as light workers, for the work that you do on yourself, for the growth, the personal growth, the layers of yourself, like the epidermis going through the layers of the skin. You start to feel more comfortable with your gift. You become aware of this yourself. Is for you to feel into it, to see what side of it that you prefer and what you like. The individual that has asked this question, you're not quite there yet. There are many gifts that you have. You are just sorting through the cupboard, at the bottom of the cupboard, going through the shoes. Do I like this pair? Do I like that pair? You can do this, you can do that. It hasn't stabilized as yet because you are going through great change. There are many layers to each and every one of you. You have free will, whether you continue to develop yourself. We suggest that you do. There is many gifts that you do have. It is the free will of the individual human being, whether they want to continue with the gifts that you have on your planet. But it's not your guides that come in and say, this is the job that you do. It's more about your one self. The more that you meditate, the one that you can connect to more from the heart center, really feel into what is it that your passion, what is it that feels right for you, will be such an urge, it will drive you, just like Anne. She did not start off wanting to be a channeler. That was the last thing. She hates to be seen, believe it or not. So her gift was so that we would then bring her closer, so that she would see from a child, feel that she was going mad from the individual saying that she was going mad. She picked up many things, tarot, astrology, a number of jobs that she's done. Now this is the job. This is where she's at this particular time. Remember, many light workers will change as you shift energetically in yourself. So does your work. Once you embrace your work, once you are fully passionate, your gifts are finally coming completed. Anne is going through many shifts now, and she's aware now what it is that she needs to do. It is free will whether you want to continue on that journey or where you are at. You do have many gifts. This is directed to that individual that asked this question. We know you will do what you need to do. You'll find out. You'll get to that stage. You won't even have to ask what it is that you're going to do because it will be in your blood, in your heartbeat. You'll be on the right path. You're just going through a few shifts. That's all. Hope I answered your question. It's us going through the individual, our own individual stories, which are, we are the pebble in the pond, and the ripple effect of what we're going through. It's having that contagious effect in a sense. I don't know whether they're using the word contagious, but it's having that effect upon everything and everyone around us. That's why it's so important that we do that individual work, so that we then go on to help others around us and also the rest of the planet. It just would make sense. It's when we stop and we don't do anything in a way that's selfish for everyone else around us, because we're having a knock-on effect to everyone around us. So by us changing individually, then it has that effect to the friends, it has the effect to the family, it has, then they go on to have the effect to other people, and it is that ripple effect. But I'm happy to check in with them too. Yes. What happens when you put your planet into fear mode? Everyone feels fear. This was a brilliant observation from yourself. The planet has experienced this over the number of years going back, where your planet felt there was some fear. It was the social isolation, it was the stepping back from each other. It had that effect between many of the humans on your planet. There was a shift on your planet. It affected your environment, the atmospheric fear as well. There was a massive shift in the energy on your planet during that period of time. Your airways was not so polluted. Your seas were different. There was much change in the behavior of the humans. Some was aggressive as well. At some point, we saw this and observe it. It's the same as the wars that are breaking out on many parts of your planet. Whatever is happening in any particular part of your world, individuals feel that it's just that area, that country. It does not affect them, but of course it does. It affects the whole supply chain on your planet. If you look at it, whenever there are issues with anything that's happening on your planet, it affects everyone. We are the observers. And sometimes we look and we feel, do they not realize that if they do not help or aid, this continues on your planet of destruction and destroying human beings? And the devastation that it affects and the emotions, of course, is going to affect everyone. So where does it begin? In oneself. Oneself does the work, has a look at how you're feeling about individuals. Through greed and the ego, it separates individuals. Through money, it separates individuals. Through the hierarchy, it separates individuals. Look at your planet and how individuals have behaved to create fear. It holds people stuck. There's not conspiracy fear from ourselves. We watch. We're not best pleased at times. We see what is happening on your planet. We're aware of how also the planet has been destroyed in parts. Your earth is creating a fuss. The earthquakes. Do not see this. Do not see the difference on your planet. What is happening? Your core is actually making you aware there are some changes. The animals are demonstrating this as well. It is for you to live in harmony on your planet together. Many of you will affect individuals. So the work that you do on yourselves will help the rest of your planet, humanity, the animals, nature, as one. None of you are getting out of here alive. You all have to go the same way. Whether there are those who are creating the rockets to go off to other planets, you all go the same way. The human physical vessel cannot last for infinity. It is the soul that lasts for infinity. We have enjoyed our conversation with each and every one of you that hears this information. We welcome comments later on as well. We are here. We are here to serve. We are connected to each and every one of you if you are open to receive. We thank you. Okay. When you're ready, begin that process of closing your eyes and just allowing us to assist you on your journey. Just resting in this space. We shall make it as easy as we can. We will help guide you on this short journey. So being aware of your physical form, being aware of your breath, and allowing your breath to flow through your body. Your breath will always anchor you and bring you back to this space. There is nothing to fear. Just trust in the process. Just allowing us to work with your energy of your physical form. We're working with each and every one of you now as you hear our voice. This is a transmission of information and healing. If you are ready, you will receive what it is that you need to receive. So with your breath, breathing in and out and allowing your body to receive what it wishes to receive. Good. Excellent. Being aware of that breath. Good. Imagine now that you're in that bath of water. Imagining now with that water around your ears that you are just resting in that space. Imagining just relaxing and allowing yourself this time and space. Being aware of the different energies that are around you. We are here. We are each and every one of you holding that space. There are many of us here now. Good. Excellent. As you're aware of your breath in your physical form, bring your breath down through your body. When you breathe in and you breathe out, pushing your breath down all the way down through your neck, your shoulders, and into your rib cage. Being aware of the breath that sits within your heart and your lungs, and allowing the beautiful color of the golden color we wish to use. Allowing the golden light within your heart center, within your lungs, to heal, to cleanse, to clear. Every breath that you breathe in and you breathe out, you allow in this gold energy to gently move in and out of each of your organs. Allowing that breath to push, to flow, to work in harmony with your body. Be aware not to hold your breath and to keep sending down through the core of your body, down all the way down through your pelvis and down through your legs, allowing the golden healing energy to flow down deep into your toes, and allowing yourselves to anchor yourself onto the earth. As like the tree, allowing your roots through the soles of your feet, pushing down through the earth, working with the golden light of energy as we allowing ourselves to connect to the core of the earth. Push down, deeper down, anchoring yourself. Allowing that breath in your body to flow all the way down. Good, excellent. As your roots enter in through the earth, down deeper through the core, allowing the breath of the earth, the heartbeat that resides within the center of the earth, allowing yourselves to begin that process to connect, feeling into the earth of the ancestral links and lines that you've had many times before. You had once walked on planet Earth, you had been here. Your physical form was placed within the earth at the time of your death. Be aware that your physical form was within the earth's crust. The earth has nourished your physical form many times before, many ancestors going back. Your physical form has been within the core many times before. You are being recognized that you have your blueprint within the earth's core. Breathing in and breathing out what feels comfortable for yourself. Imagine each and every one of you that breathes in and breathes out the changes that you are making on the earth at this time. It is the breath that moves within the planet's atmosphere, the breath of the calmness that moves within the wind, the trees that feel within the leaves, this movement that occurs within your planet. Your breath is as part, as one as the wind, each and every one of you receiving the breath of each other. You breathe in, you breathe out, you are connecting to the world as it breathes in, as it breathes out. You are one. Each and every one of you, the molecules of breath that you are breathing in, of the many humans that exist on your planets, and the animals and nature, you are one. As you breathe in, you breathe out. As your body feels the breath, as your core of your inner self, your digestion, you feel, you hear, you see, you smell. Many of you feel, you hear, you see, you smell. Send the breath down through the body, all the way down through the soles of the feet. As you're anchored onto the earth, as you've done many times before, your body has been here on planet Earth before. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, you are anchored and connected to the earth, and many ancestors have walked upon your planet many times before. The breath, the heartbeat on your planet, you are part of the oceans that breathe in and breathe out. You are in the rhythm of the light, you are in the rhythm of the breath, you are in the rhythm of nature. Every time you breathe in, you breathe out. You are connected to the bumblebee, the cats, the dogs, the dolphins, the sea lions, the fish. You live as one on your planet. As you breathe in, you breathe out. You consume one another, not just through food, but through the breath. The breath of each and every one of you that exists on the planet. From the birds, from the mammals, from the reptilians and the amphibians, they breathe in, they breathe out. And so you breathe the same breath around the world. The whole world breathes in and breathes out. From the tropical rainforests, the deserts, you breathe in, you breathe out. You are one, you are connected with the earth. And as each and every one of you are partly connected with the stars, you are created through the stardust of the galaxies and far way beyond. Many of you look up to the stars in the night sky, are connected to each and every one of us here. You hold parts of us, we hold parts of you. We are all one. You breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out. Every vision that your mind holds, every experience that you feel, that energy is in and breathes in and breathes out. Every breath that you breathe in and breathe out, from the anxiety, from the pleasure, from the love, from the joy, from the heart that breathes in and breathes out. The heart sends out the frequency into the world. You breathe in, you breathe out. Just like the mother with the baby that's unborn. The heartbeat within the mother, the heartbeat with the unborn. You breathe in, you breathe out. Your planet is as one with each and every one of you. Allowing the golden light around your physical form. As you allow this light to move in and out of your cells. Each of your cells rebuilding, renourishing, recycling. You're made up with trillions of different cells and billions and trillions and so much more. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, your energy connects to others. You breathe in, you breathe out. Being aware of your breath in your physical form. You are being held within this energetic space. You are as one. You are with your soul consciousness, your higher self, your one self, your core aligning in as one. You breathe in, you breathe out. As you allow in your breath will always anchor you back to your physical form. Gently being aware of your breath with your physical form in your body. Allowing, knowing that you can trust and surrender into yourself. You're being held within the universe. In a moment, we step back gently from your space. We've not left you, we just give you space. On the count of 3, I will bring you back into this space. being aware of your energy of who you are as who you are showing up in the world at this particular time. Being aware of your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. 2, begin that process of wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. 3, when you're ready, come back into this space, stretching like a cat or a dog, but coming back into this space. 3, come back wherever you've been, come back.